Good morning to everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Yesterday we left with this cost of redeemable debentures, and I told you that you leave it tomorrow again we'll write the formula. Okay. So here is the formula. After cost of debt at par, cost of debt at discount, cost of debt at what? At premium. After all those three things, today's discussions will start with cost of redeemable debentures. Okay. So I hope you know the concept of redeemable debentures. So it says that if a debt and or debentures, debt is also called, will be also mentioned as debentures, are redeemed. If the debt or debentures are getting redeemed after expiry of a fixed period, the effective cost of debt before tax can be calculated with the help of the following formula. This is before tax formula, okay? After tax is different. So before tax, first we will write the formula. After that we will solve the sum. All right. So it says that if a debt is getting redeemed after the expiry of a certain fixed period of time, then the effective cost of debt, this is called the effective cost of debt before that payment of tax, can be calculated with the help of the following formula. What is the formula? Write it in your copy. Give a heading cost of redeemable debentures. Then you write this formula in your copy. It says KD, D should be in subscript. KD before tax is equals to, in the numerator you will write C plus D minus NP, C plus D minus NP divided by N. Write this formula very carefully. If you make a mistake in writing the formula, the sum cannot be done correctly. So please write the formula very carefully. Seeing from the screen you write. It is in the numerator, it is C plus D. Again there is a numerator and numerator in the numerator. So in the numerator it will be D minus NP divided by N, divided by, whole thing should be divided by D plus NP by 2. So there are divisions of numerator and denominator both in the numerator and denominator. So be careful and write it properly in your copy. Write all the terms properly and neatly in your copy. After writing the formula, you write where C equals to, the C should be capital, okay? If you're writing C small in the formula, then you write small, otherwise you write capital. The C is equals to what? This is equals to annual interest payment. This should be an amount. This should be an amount which should be calculated based on the rate of interest given annually. So C is the annual interest payment. Then D, capital D is what? This is the par value. That means the exact value, not after discount or premium. This is the par value. D is equals to the par value of debentures. Then small n is equals to number of years to maturity. Number of years to maturity is equals to n. Then NP, capital NP, which you can see both in the numerator as well as in the denominator. This NP is nothing but net proceeds. Yesterday also we have calculated net proceeds. So here also net proceed term is used. Okay. Then you will write KD after tax. What will be the formula of KD after tax? This will be nothing but KD before tax. That means first you will calculate the KD by using this formula. Then with that you will multiply 1 minus capital T. First you will solve the sum by using this formula. Then you will multiply 1 minus T with that term, where T will be equals to marginal tax rate or applicable marginal tax rate. Whatever tax rate will be given, that you will use. Okay. Now we will solve this sum by using the above formula and see what the result comes. This question no need to write, just take the information from here. It says that 10 years, 10% debentures. These three words has got different meanings. 10 years is the number of maturity or the number of years to maturity. 10% is what? 10% is the rate of interest of the debentures, right? So these three words give you vital information. This 10 years 10% debentures of a company are sold at a rate of rupees 90. The face value of the debenture is rupees 100. Okay, what does it indicate? The debenture has been sold at 90, whereas the face value of the debenture is 100. That means it is sold at a discount or a premium. This is sold at a discount, isn't it? Because the price was 100, it has been sold at 90. So how much discount has been given? 10 rupees or 10% discount has been given. Then tax rate is 40%. Then find the cost of debt. So this is in this sum we will use the cost of redeemable debentures formula. Okay. Cost of redeemable debentures formula. Why? How will we identify whether this should be a cost of debt formula or cost of redeemable debentures formula? How will you identify? Can anyone tell me the answer? Who knows the answer? Tell me. How will you identify whether it will be a cost of debt at par, at discount, at premium, or it will be cost of redeemable debentures? Who knows the answer? Tell me.
Ma'am, the debentures are being already issued.
Are already issued.
Ma'am, the number of years are given.
Yes, the number of years to maturity will be given in cost of redeemable debentures, because the debentures will be redeemed after that maturity period. So in order to apply the cost of redeemable debentures, you have to look out for the years to maturity. Okay, so here the 10 years factor is given to you, know, that should indicate that here you will have to use the redeemable debentures formula. Then you apply the formula. This is tax rate is there. That means you have to apply the tax rate wala formula. That means cost of redeemable debentures after tax you will have to apply. Put all the details in this formula and solve. Take the formula, write all the details and solve. Here the net proceeds is already given to you. It's rupees 90. Had a percentage been mentioned, then we would have calculated. Say it would have been mentioned it was sold at a discount of 10%, then we would have calculated. But here the selling price is already given to you. It is rupees 90. So that is your net proceeds. Okay, and D is 100 because the face value of the debenture was 100, or par value, face value, whatever you say, it was 100. So D will be 100, NP will be 90, N is going to be 10, C is going to be the annual interest payment. That means 10% of the face value. Okay, 10% of the face value will be is going to be your annual interest payment. So 10% of 100, that is 10. So substitute all the values and calculate. tax rate is 40%, so you will take 0.40. Calculate and tell me whether you are getting the same answer or not. Yes, anyone has completed, then tell me, okay?
Ma'am, the answer is same, 6.94.
Okay. It is 6.94%, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, now give the heading cost of preference capital. Next source of capital we will do now. This is give the heading cost of preference capital. Give the heading cost of preference capital.
Ma'am, in this sum, why have we taken 1 minus t?
Because tax rate is given, no?
Like this is an after tax sum, na?
Yes. If tax rate is given, then you'll have to calculate after tax. Okay. If tax rate is not given, then you will calculate the before tax formula. You could have done before tax, and after calculating that you would have multiplied with 1 minus t. Same thing.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm sharing the screen. Just a second. Oh. Yes, so you can see the next page. This is cost of preference capital. The underlined one, no, the pink line which has with which it has been underlined, that is the formula. After writing cost of preference capital, you write the cost of preference share capital is computed as follows. Then you write Kp equals to D by P. You write this formula, the underlined ones. Kp equals to, now we will represent it with Kp. Cost of debt was Kd, now it is Kp. So Kp is equals to capital D by capital P. What does this Kp indicates? Where you write, where Kp is equals to cost of preference capital. Kp equals to cost of preference capital. Then you write D, capital D equals to annual preference dividend. D is equals to annual preference dividend. This is in amount, okay? Whatever percentage will be given, you will have to calculate the amount of the dividend and then you will substitute with D. And P equals to, and capital P is equals to proceeds of preference share capital. Proceeds of preference share capital. Okay, now when you are writing only P, listen to me carefully, okay? When you are writing only P, then it means that the preference share capital has been issued at par. Whatever value it is, it has been issued at that value. But if you are writing the next formula, you see the next formula is Kp equals to D by MP. Then after writing the this formula, no, proceeds of preference share capital you have written. After that you write, when preference shares are issued at premium or discount, this line you write. When preference shares are issued at premium or discount, when preference shares are issued at premium or discount, just up to this one you write. When preference shares are issued at premium or discount, then Kp equals to D by Np now. Instead of P, you will write Np. Kp equals to D by Np. T by Np now. This Np will be, how will you calculate? Just like cost of debt, when it will be issued at a discount, we will deduct the percentage value from the actual par value. If it is at a premium, we will add it, add with the par value. Okay, let us solve a sum. It will be clearer then. See, the question is, a company issues, no need to write the question, you can write it later on also. A company issues 10% preference shares of rupees 100 each at rupees 120 each. So it means what? 100 rupees is the par value of the preference shares. Okay, it has been issued at 10%. That means 10% is the dividend amount. Now no longer it will be interest payment, because preference to equity capital or preference capital, you pay dividend. Now when 10% is mentioned, it means 10% on the par value should be paid as dividend to the preference shareholders. So we will not mention interest now, we will mention dividend. So 10% is paid on how much? On 100. This is the par value. And it is also mentioned that the preference shares has been issued at rupees 120 each. That means it has been issued at a discount or a premium. Tell me.
Premium.
Premium. It is issued at a premium of 20 rupees. So your net proceed formula has to be used here. And the net proceed value will be 120. Then find out the cost of preference share capital. Quickly do this sum. Write down the formula. This should not be KE, huh? This should be KP. KP equals to D by NP. Then you calculate NP. It is given, no need to calculate. Instead of DP, you will write the dividend amount, that is 10% of 100, that means 10 divided by 120 is your net proceeds. So 10 by 120 is going to be your easy answer. Calculate and tell me when you are done.
Ma'am, 8.33.
8.33%, right? It is 8.33% is your answer. Okay. Can I share the next problem? Can I close it and share the next problem? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next problem is also related to this same kind of concept. You will solve it. You will practice it. Okay. Just a second. Yes. So you write the question later on. Just solve it now. Now the company is issuing 1,000 shares. That is not. That will not be required for a solution. But it's 10% dividend payment is done on the preference shares whose par value is rupees 100. Calculate the cost of preference shares capital when they will be issued at 10% premium and 10% discount. Do it, practice it. If you're done, tell me, okay?
I'm done.
Done, no? Same answer.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm closing this window. I'm closing and sharing another window, okay? All right, now see our next topic is cost of equity share capital now. So two we have done. Yesterday I told you no, that four types of capital are there that whose cost we will calculate in this chapter. So we started with cost of debt, then we did cost of preference share capital. Now we are doing cost of equity share capital. What is it? The cost of equity share capital is the most difficult cost to measure. It represents the minimum rate of return that must be earned on that portion of investment financed by equity share capital so that the total market price of the firm's stock will not be affected. So whatever rate of minimum rate of return that has to be earned on the proportion of the investment that has been financed by the equity share capital. Okay. So calculating that cost of the equity share is pretty tedious, but there are ways to do that. And you have to also keep in your mind that when you're calculating the cost of that equity share capital, the total market price of the firm stock should not be changed. So it is quite tedious job, but our job is not to derive the formula because it has already been derived and throughout ages it is being used, but we have to learn those things. There are four approaches. Okay, you see in this part, the last part of your screen, there are four approaches commonly followed for calculation of cost of equity capital. So there will be four different sets of formula. Okay, four types of formula I will give you in this cost of equity share capital that you will have to learn. First will be of dividend approach. Next will be dividend plus growth approach. Next will be earning approach. And the fourth one will be realized yield approach. You should write this point in your copy. That cost of equity share capital is calculated based on four approaches. The approaches are, first one is dividend approach. Second one is dividend plus growth approach. Third one is earning approach. And the fourth one is realized yield approach. Okay, so today I'll not put much pressure on you because I've already given three formula and you learn those three formula and see the sums how they are done. Why I'm just giving you one or two sums, because once I finish this formula set of formula of all the types of cost of capital, then I will concentrate more on the sums, only on the sums. So I want to first finish off the formula. That's why I'm just giving you one or two sums in order to understand that how it is done. Okay, so you go through those sums today and all these things will be uploaded in Moodle in PDF format. Right now I have shared a PDF in your WhatsApp group. In that format it will be shared. Okay, I will make PDF of all the images that are shared on the WhatsApp. Anyone have cam scanner on their mobile? I want a volunteer. Anyone has cam scanner on their mobile? Please tell me. Cam scanner.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have.
Pratiksha, no? You have. Pooja also have. Okay. Okay, fine. So I just want two volunteers, okay? And you will do this for me, please. It's a request. I think almost all of you have because CamScan is a popular app. I want you people to two of you discuss who wants to do it. You discuss among yourself. You must be having one informal WhatsApp group also. So you would say that I'm doing this, and another one should do the another thing. So what are those two things? The two things are in the WhatsApp group that we are following during classes in order to share the images, one of you will take only the images of QTM from the group and create just one PDF by using the cam scanner. You can import images, okay? You can import image from in cam scanner. I think you know these features because you are better than me in technology handling. So you open cam scanner, you click on the camera button, then there will be option on the left hand side of the camera button. You click on that, your gallery will open. From the WhatsApp images, you please take the QTM images only. One of you will deal with the QTM images and will make one PDF by importing all the QTM images from the WhatsApp group. Are you getting me? Just any one of you, maybe Pratiksha or Mamta, you please take this QTM duty. And another person will do for FM. You will import only the FM subjects images from the WhatsApp group and create one PDF. This can be done, easy to do. Just you have to identify that which images belong to which subject. If you make mistakes, that's okay. I will omit that one. I will correct your mistakes. But please do it for me. It's a request because I'll have to upload that in Moodle. Okay, and I'm a myopic person. I have eye difficulties, so I'm requesting you, please do it for me. Okay. Any two-person volunteer, you decide among yourself who will do this. It is not a big deal. You just have to see all the images which belongs to QTM and what belongs to FM, and just import those images in one file. Make QTM files, and another file should be of FM file. Please do it, okay? You'll do it, no? Tell me, girls, will you do it? Please do it, okay? Just volunteer, decide who wants to do and do it, okay? Okay, I have given you the attendance while you are doing the sums. I have given you the attendance. So you may leave and see you tomorrow. You take time. Those who are volunteering, take 1 or 2 days time, no problem. But please do it, okay? My eyes are, paining these days by after, looking all throughout the day to the desktop image and then after the phone. So it is very strenuous for me.